So today I'm going to make these little tiny paws that are a good little project if you're just starting out making sculptures and you want to go a little bit more detailed. Now you can make paws using wire and armatures, which takes a little bit of practice. And these of course will take practices too as well, but I just think this is a very good opportunity and way to just get you going to create these little extra detailed additions to your animal sculptures. So you can attach them. This is just going to be a little wire leg that you could attach it to, but I'll show you that at the end. But how I started this was I just took some carded Corriedale. You can use core wool, but I prefer to use carded Corriedale wool slithers, and I'm gonna break off a little. So really you can make these any size, but this size here is roughly going to make this sort of size paw, but you can adjust the amount of wool that you're pulling off depending on the size of the paw that you're going to be making. Now what I want to do is I'm going to build up this area here, which is going to be this paw area here. So I'm just going to build up, putting some extra wool just here and fold that over so you can see it's slightly pronounced. And then I'm going to start, let's move this up a bit. I'm going to start just felting the shape of a paw into the wool. It's just a guesstimate at the moment. Try and move this so that the felting needle isn't in the way. And then felt in the middle. You see this is a multi-tool, it speeds up the felting as you go, but you can use a single needle. It'll just take longer to felt. I was going to turn it over, but I'll stick with this just for the time being. So I'm just compressing all of this. This is going to be the foot, this is going to be the little ankle. And then because this is going to be folded over, I'm just pulling that off just so that there's not harsh ridge. And in fact, what you could have done is done two shorter lengths. So I'm just folding this in, building up the layers of wool again. Pull it off where your felting surface, and now we can start turning this over. I'm going to felt it all over. And of course this carded wool can be any colour depending on the colour of the animal that you're felting. It's just easier for me to choose white. And what I'm going to do now So I'm going to use a fold multi-tool, and this just speeds things up a bit. If you've not used one of these before, don't worry, just keep to your single needle or double needle. But if you are using one of these, do keep your fingers well out of the way. And I'm just alternating between the tools. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. I'm just felting this end just to smooth it over, but this will be where the claws are. Go back to the double. So start felting the ankle. I want this felted all over so that the surface is firm, but not too firm because we will be sculpting it. Don't forget it's underneath as well. I'm going to go back to the multi-tool. Felting all over, compressing it. Still a bit too squishy to start the sculpting phase, so just keep going. And yeah, just keep felting. Now I want this end to sort of be flat-ish and sort of uniform across the whole of this front face. Sculpting around the ankle, and we will be able to we will start bending it up. Eventually, but just I would recommend that if you're doing this method and you're doing all four paws or 2 paws, whatever, that you measure out exactly the same amount of wool. So you're measuring out four lots so that you've got the same amount of wool, so that when you felt each paw, that you know that it's going to come out the same size, because you've got the same amount of wool for each one. Just getting there. Just keep going. Just starting to add a little bit of shape into this. So see, I'm just manipulating the wool into the direction that I want it to go. And with that wool in place, then I felt it, and it will then felt in that direction. So you can see that by lifting it up, it'll then stay in that shape. It's beginning to get firmer, which is what I want. But I want to give myself enough room that I can create each of the toes. That's starting to get firm. Now what I want to now do, I'll move that out of the way, don't need that one anymore. I'm using let's clear the decks a bit. So what I want to do is I'm going to go create the first toe with my single or double, this double one. I'm just drawing a line to divide it in 2. Go underneath and then create a little divot underneath. Before we go too far, I'll do the other 2. Do exactly the same. Turn that over. And do the other side. And then what I'm doing is I'm just compressing the wool. So you can see I'm squishing it together, and this just helps to compact it. And I'll just keep on sculpting this till I get the shape I want. And then if you don't need to do this, but I just like to add, so I'm just adding the little pads underneath. And this also helps just to add a little detail underneath. And just keep going until you're happy with the shape. And then just put a little, shape these toes a little bit. This is a bit bigger than the other one I did, just because I didn't do them both at the same time, but so I'm constantly just looking at this paw, just thinking, right, okay, where do I need to do a bit more shaping? At the moment, I just need to shape this ankle. It's looking a bit bulbous on top. So what I might do is just get a multi-tool and just and what I'd suggest you do is you go onto Pinterest or go onto the internet and just research pictures of paws so that you've got reference when you're making. I probably should have had this a little bit firmer before I started sculpting it. I'm just encouraging the wool up a bit. I just want him up there. It's just a bit of refining to do. Go back to, this is a 40 gauge spiral, which is my favourite. But you can also use another one that I like is 38. I think, yes, that's a spiral as well. I like the spiral needles. So this is a 38 spiral. Oh, sorry, I'm realising that I'm out of shot. Oops. Okay, and then it is like it is a lot bigger than this one I did, but you get the idea. So to make them smaller, obviously you just use a smaller amount of wool, and then put these marks in again. Because I'm trying to do this quickly. I probably should have spent a little bit more time doing it. And then for the pads, just take and then just how to keep on building up pads. I think these pads can be any colour. And keep building up these. the shape. And then you do the same for the toe beans. And then just do the same for the little toe beans. Just roll it around in the palm of the hand. There's enough moisture in the palm of the hand to actually just help felt these together, and then you just do the little little toe beans like that. And you just keep doing that for all 4 until you end up with a little paw like that. So just go back to the you see, just I could spend probably another hour on this, but that's the method. And then if you want to attach it to a leg, you can either have just a felt leg, or like this one that's a wire, which is part of wire armature. Now I'm just using, you can use an awl, AWL, which is just a pokey thing. Just make a hole in that and then pop your leg in, and then you just felt that into your leg. You can have it straight, and obviously this would need to be a bit more covered in wool, but you get the idea. So you'd have it. It's not going to play because it's wiggling about all over the place, but yeah, be like that. So I hope that's helped. And if you've got any questions, then just drop them and just come and ask, and I'll help as much as I can. But I hope you found that useful. Okay then, catch you very soon. Bye.